New British voices for Siri in iOS 17, a new record for the original iPhone, nearby share for Windows, all that and more on today's Tech News. YouTube is going to be raising the price for a subscription by $2 to $13.99 per month in the US. The UK recently saw an increase on there. Now, YouTube hasn't actually contacted its customers yet. However, if you go onto their website, youtube.com/premium, the new prices are already there. Towards the end of last year, the family premium plans saw a hike to $22.99 a month. And that remains the same. Now, if you want to go then for the yearly option, that also had a $20 increase at the beginning of the year. That was $139.99. And that gives you a saving of about $27.89 by doing it that way. So with that, obviously, you do get YouTube without ads. You do also then get access to YouTube Music as well. So it is quite a good option if you're still using it. However, those prices are going up slowly but surely. So it is only a matter of time before you want to know, is it worth paying or is it worth going down some either ad routes or other options. Now, I personally pay for YouTube Premium. I have a family plan and that covers then everybody in the house, so we get YouTube without ads. I use YouTube every day, so for me it just makes sense. I use YouTube Music instead of paying for any other music streaming service as well, so that's all bundled into the cost. So currently for me it is still working out that cheaper than if I was paying, say, for Spotify or Apple Music. But it may be something that you guys want to consider. It probably will only be a couple of days before we start seeing those emails going out to existing customers to say that those prices are increasing, so keep an eye on your inbox. Back in March, we talked about how Google was beta testing nearby share for Windows, and there was a workaround. You could install the beta onto your Windows machine and you could use the nearby share from your Android device to your Windows machine. That's now finally out of beta and it is available for everyone, and that came out yesterday evening here in the UK. So if you use Android device and you want to use your Windows, then you can just go ahead, and obviously we'll leave a link in the description. Check that onto your Windows device and you can share those a lot easier. Now, personally, I use it with a Mac. Obviously, nearby share isn't working for Mac. I don't know if that ever will be a case. However, I use an alternative. I use Clipped, and that way then I can send files between that. I also use Google Keep as well, so I can access my notes on any device anyway. But if you want to send the images across quickly, or just some little text clippage that you want to send across, or links, then check out Clipped as well if you use the Mac. Sticking with betas at the moment, WhatsApp has now brought its Wear OS 3 app out of beta and is available now for all devices that run Wear OS 3. So that currently includes the Pixel Watch, the Galaxy Watch 4 and 5, the TicWatch Pro 5, as well as some watches from Fossils. Now, there are obviously some other brands on there, so if you've got Wear OS 3, then you can actually get the WhatsApp app on your watch as well. Now, on Wear OS, WhatsApp users can view the individual and group chats, and they can also send and reply to their messages through their watch, which is a lot more than what the Apple Watch was allowing previously. You could just view those messages as they were coming through, just an alert. The app supports text, voice and emoji messages, and even supports voice calls. This all works remotely if you have an LTE watch as well. So it'll be interesting to see if this also comes out for the Apple Watch. Given what's going on between Mark Zuckerberg and Tim Cook, then I'm not convinced that we're going to see that in the future. Way back in 2020, Sony found a massive success with their WF-1000 XM4 noise cancelling earbuds. And since then, they haven't really done much to change those devices. Sony is now gearing up to make an announcement for July the 24th, where they're expected to officially release the long-awaited upgrade, the WF-1000 XM5 earbuds. So stay tuned if you are in the market for earbuds. Maybe now may not be the best time to buy anything until we see these new advances. We also saw that Beats launched their Studio Pro earphones as well yesterday. So if you're in the market for those, then I would definitely hold off getting any AirPods Maxes at the moment. There are a lot of differences between them. However, the Studio Pros offer a lot more than what the AirPods actually offer. One thing that is missing from here is the H1 chip, so you're not going to get that device switching if you on your Apple devices. They do use the Bluetooth protocol on Android, and so that will work. However, like I say, if you're on Apple and you want to use that device switching, then maybe you don't get these ones either. Now, ahead of the July 26 Samsung event, they've also teased out that the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Fold 5 will be the slimmest and lighter than previous years. We're also expecting to see new watches as well. So again, if you're in the market to get a smartwatch or an Android phone, maybe you want to hold off. You're looking at the Galaxy Watch 6 and Watch 6 Classic if the leaks are to go by. Now, they are saying that there's going to be no 6 Pro this year. Again, that is just a rumor at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see that. Now, the Unpacked event will be at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on July 26, so adjust your calendars and times accordingly to where you are in the world. Now, according to Mac Rumors, on iOS 17 beta, they have discovered 2 new British Siri voices, and you can go through the settings and you can go to Siri and search, and then you can select the voices. Now, according to Mac Rumors, both of these voices sound a lot more natural than the existing British ones. So if you like a bit of British from your Siri, make sure you dig those through if you are running the betas. This week there was an auction that had an original iPhone, which was 4 gigabytes, and it actually fetched in a total price of $190,000. Now, this did include the buyer's premium, so the seller will actually get about $158,644. And previously to that, a factory sealed iPhone record was at $63,000. So there is a massive jump in there, and obviously there are people out there with some money that are willing to spend on these devices. Now, we have seen the video previously where MKBHD actually bought one and unboxed it, so it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be another YouTuber looking to outdo him. However, I highly doubt that we are going to see another one of those videos, especially at this premium prices. Well, thanks for listening today, guys, and I'll catch you on the next episode.